I'll be your blonde tonight if that's what you like. Matt Dillon of the Matt Dillon, the MD effect. We need to talk about the Speidi plot twist comeback era of our time. Let's go.
Deemed the celebrity whisperer by Playboy.
This is the best interview of the day.
Thanks for having me.
You hit the nail on the head.
100%.
Period, yeah.
Touch them. You're cracking me up.
Wear them, baby.
This is good.
Taylor Ferber.
I'm joined by a few entities here. Okay. I'm joined by the Matt Dillon. He is a man about the town. He is seen speaking, about fashion, culture, trends, pop culture globally. He is just everywhere. He has a longtime street cred rep of genius celeb PR. We're also joined by his Heidi Montag. Oh, there she is. Superficial in her glory. Okay. And we are going to just talk about this moment. So if you are living in a like Cloverfield Lane bunker, it is the underdog story of our time that Speidi has emerged. Their house was, sadly burned down in the LA fires. And now Heidi Montag, is the Cher of our time. And it's so funny, Matt, because they were always like the punchline in reality TV and Heidi's music too, trying to be like a pop star. She was always made fun of. And so who would have thought that they would be completely dominating, going viral with her like kitschy, campy sex song in the tragedy of the LA fires? Everybody is supporting them, in light of their house burning down. She's number one with her song, her album, like globally in multiple countries. Who would have thunk it? I mean, here we are.
Listen, I have to say a couple of things first. That next week, I think she's actually going to enter the Billboard Hot 100 charts, which is unheard of. I have to give it to Spencer and Heidi in the sense that, yes, you said they were very much the punchline. They played into that punchline, though, very, very well for years and years and years until they lost all their money because they made this album Superficial. And then it was 10, 15 years later, in the kind of eye of the storm, the fires, that I think just sharing that love and I think that consistency that they've had together, I think number one, Spencer Pratt is the benchmark for what a man, a husband, a boyfriend, a lover needs to ride for your partner because he is the reason this is happening. And my hat is off to him. My God, Spencer Pratt, the most hated reality star that was, is now the prince. He was the prince of Malibu, but now he's the prince of the goddamn globe.
No, exactly. Like everybody move aside. Gavin Newsom, you are toast, you are history.
yeah.
Spencer Pratt is the king of California. No, but it's so true. And even though it seems so fluffy, superficial, no pun intended, this entire story,
Ah,
oddly enough, there are so many layers and levels and depth. I think it's their transparency. I think they're, even though they're so like quirky and always have been, they're so authentic and real. I love like Heidi just seems so down to earth. And I want to get your take on how Spencer is like, what happened? Like, I thought I was broke and now I'm a rich celebrity and he's just owning it Dave Portnoy style. Like, I love it. And to your
100%.
point that he is goals, like the fact that he just lost his entire house. He's up at 3 a.m. tracking Heidi's charting on her
Horrible.
behalf. I sent it to my boyfriend. I was like, this is you. This is goals. Like, again, who would have thought? The
No one would
chivalrous
have
hero
thought
of our
this.
time?
No one. What I will say,
No
and I
one.
really do think that the timing of all of this, that is the proof. I saw on
Yeah.
Instagram, somebody said if they can do it, they are the American dream of anything
Yeah.
is possible. And I truly believe that is. This is decade plus later that this is all coming to fruition. But I feel like, in a sense, they were the hardest working two on television back in the day. Hated, loved, neutral. They worked their ass off to be relevant. Side deals, front deals, backhand, all the deals. And I think where it stands now is just proof that in life you can never expect the unexpected is number one. But two, they've proved everybody wrong. Like Lauren Conrad's in the grave now, rolling over, being like,
I
"Holy
thought the
shit!"
same
Like,
thing.
do
I
I
thought the
still have a
same thing.
Coles deal? Do I still have the Coles deal? What happened? But to that point, I think it's been great to see the other cast members riding their wave now. They're like, "Suckers, we were the stars. We will be the stars." And they've come into this moment in time where I'm like, I don't know whether I can say it's kind of like the anthem of the fires. I'll do it. Let's
I'll
go.
do it.
You know?
I'm
Yeah.
wearing my
I think
tits out,
it's
brain out shirt in Heidi's. Again, Heidi
her
the hero.
honor.
Look at
Let's
you.
kiss it.
Can you tell her or tell her? I'm like, she's here with us, the presence of
Hello,
Heidi.
darling.
Can you tell us how you even serendipitously got this swag before all of this went down? And now
So
you have
truth
this
be told,
artifact that will be in a museum.
it
Like,
should be. Number one, my Spotify playlist. I'm a diehard Speidi. Diehard.
okay.
Last year, if you look at your Spotify Wrapped, before she was the Heidi of now, she was my number one played song. So I'm like, I ride
Oh,
for
you're like,
this
I'm an
girl.
OG bitch. Where have you
I'm an
all been?
OG, OG. I mean, we were back in the LA days together. She was on the carpets. We're all
Yeah.
hanging out.
Yeah.
This feels like a throwback. But I reached out to the guy that makes these in Newport Beach, of course. And I was like, oh, I'll wear that for an interview on TV. He sent it to me perfect. And now they're sending
Flying
them out
off the
in
shelves,
bucket loads.
bitch.
So I got it before it was no longer.
And isn't it too so telling of our culture? I don't know if it's social media, Gen Z, like what it is, but the fact that it's just the juxtaposition of like the devastation, and it's so sad. Like you see her
It is.
shopping at Marshall, she's like, I literally grabbed my kids' teddy bears and we lost everything, like kid
Yeah,
stuff you can't replace, with the juxtaposition of her song that is literally like, I'll be your sex nurse stilettos fish. That's like, it's
everything.
so iconic. And the fact that people, like, what does this say about this generation and culture? Like, jumping so quickly on trends and things becoming their obsession. I do think, of course, this has the sentimental heartstring value of building
Yes.
back better, not in a Joe Biden way, like building
Yes,
Speidi
yes.
back better. But what do you think, Matt? I mean, you study trends, speak to trends. Like, what does this say? The whole storm of it all.
It really is a thing of like we are in a movement in the world where people want something and they just have it's serendipitous. Right place, right time. Terrible way to come to the
Yeah.
front of the fold. But let's look at who is coming now. And blogger Gibson Johns actually tweeted out a video of Leighton Meester because she also had a couple of tracks that never hit. And now they're trying to make Leighton Meester hits because she lost her home too
How
with
could
Adam.
I
So now we're
forget?
going through this thing of like our
Wow.
pop girlies back from then, because the gays keep these pop girlies in business. But now the
Facts,
Globe, they're
facts.
like Heidi Montag literally like did something unthinkable, and now we've got Leighton Meester's fans jumping on board. I was like, who's next? Think of a pop girly, and I'm like, who's
Wait.
coming back?
This shit is about to be like Inception because Heidi was like the underdog with the Lauren Conrad, who's now in the dust, and Leighton with Blake Lively on Gossip Girl.
How timely is this? Come on now, serendipitous.
Wow. Karma doesn't sleep, bitch.
No, it doesn't, and it slaps like a bitch.
And isn't it too, it makes me feel such a type of way because often, like, I don't know how you feel about the whole like overnight viral trends and say, not that they put the work
Yeah,
in for
yeah,
15, 20 years,
yeah.
right? But like you see them getting like billboards and all this, and I'm like, okay, it's a flash in the pan. With this, like I saw Spencer posted that she has now a massive like billboard in Times Square. It's so
Yeah,
fucking sweet. And I think it's all that sort of underdog, coalesce story of
it's
people
real.
having her back.
It's really real, and I think she has, whether people think it or not, they have put in the work. They've put in the time. They've been spat on, pissed on,
Yeah.
shat on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
come through and still and in the purest form have this beautiful family in a day and age, and you know it very well working in media, where you can buy yourself a billboard, you can buy yourself a cover, you can buy yourself this. They literally lasted decades and are now in the moment where it's like they deserve all of this. They deserve it all. A, because they've lost everything. But B, what a beautiful way to kind of re-blossom and come back into the kind of
Yes.
stratosphere and to see a couple that were so heavily like dogged on actually like that love that's goals to me. I'm like, I
Yeah.
cried when I saw him. He's
Facts.
crying. And he
No
went on
facts.
GMA wearing this shirt. So I'm like, damn,
I showed my boyfriend, I'm like, this is straight. Like, he's wearing her shirt. He's like, she does her little plug, and he literally couldn't be prouder. He's like, great plug. I'm like, oh
I
my
know,
God,
I
I'm
loved
obsessed.
it.
I told
I'm
my
like,
boyfriend, I'm like, this is you. This is it.
do
Like,
you
I'm
feel like they're
obsessed.
just like us though? So I feel like they're
Yeah.
relatable in a way. I think because of the time span we've known Speidi, that they are just like the girl and guy next door, and you're rooting for them.
With that said, last thoughts, Matt, on, what's wild to see, and I said this in one of my recent episodes, it's like sadly, this is like, where Eat the Rich dies hard. It's like we just saw it, like that whole thing, right? And to see these people who are so extravagant and out of touch, and like lose everything. That's a whole other ball of wax for another day to watch that unfold. But what do
Yeah.
you think it says to see again that sort of authentic light and Spencer like he's going through like the shambles of what is their stuff, but for me what really struck was like again owning. I think he even made merch that's like rich celebrity again of him being like what happened, you guys were shitting on us that we were broke and blew all our money and we're losers, and like now suddenly I'm a rich celebrity, quote, getting dragged. What do you think that says, Matt, and why that, is, and obviously it speaks to people because they're over celebrities being out of touch and entitled, but like, what do you think it says about the wave of the new celebrity and also like the Leetons, the Speidies coming back?
Think there's always room for an underdog story, and I do feel like this is resonating because they were an underdog. I think Leighton, the timing is again so pertinent and it's very interesting. I think the world is going through shifts. Whatever side of politics you sit on, the world is going through shifts, move. People are moving, careers changing. We don't give a shit about celebrity anymore. Now, notoriety, on the other hand, that if you're in Gen Z, Gen X, whatever you are, everybody knew, everybody knows what the Hills is. They are the consistent Speidi of that. So for me, seeing them win is hope for everybody that's going through shit, who can't pay their bills, who can't
Yeah.
pay their mortgage, who we're looking at like norovirus going back into mass again. I'm like, hell to the no. Let's look to positive. It's funny that it's a positive story. I'm like, she
I
wakes up
know.
and be like, you have a booking on GMA. Glamour magazine just did a story on you.
I love it.
Good for
No, I
her.
I love it.
Good for her. Good for him. And great for us because this is the kind of stories I want to read, not the bullshit where people can go and pay for their homes to be done again.
Yes.
And final thought, Spencer has said, and I want to make sure that people know this, let me get my home, my parents' home, my kids safe, and then I'm going to rebuild the Palisades myself. Boom. Sue the hell out of LA, sue the hell out of all of them.
Facts.
And he's going to do it for the community.
No, join with Rick Caruso, get Elon in on it, and let's
Yep.
see this shit happen. Matt of the
That's
MD Effect, I love you. Last question, like very, very important journalism. I know obviously you're gay, you got your man, but can I be your blonde tonight if that's what you'd like?
yes. I love
And with that, off we go. I love you, Matt. Thank you so much. In
wow.
Spidey, we trust.
Yes, we do.